What's happening, everybody? Jim Lloyd joining you live from Garioma, Nicaragua. Just finished a little lunch. Going to do a quick live here before I go for my post lunch walk. It's a beautiful day today. We're hanging out with the dogs on the patio, getting some work done. I wanted to talk a little bit about today about what I see. I've been coaching for almost 30 years now, and I attract very high charging, high achieving, highly driven people. That's generally people that are working really hard that aren't getting results that they want. They either don't really know what they want, or they're choosing the wrong tool. They're trying to hit a nail with a screwdriver or something along those lines, and they're working really hard, but it's not really working out for them. And usually it's two things. One, they're living an indoor sedentary lifestyle. They're spending way too much time indoors in front of screens, and they're not getting outside enough. The second part of that is they don't know how to relax, and they have no idea just how much stress they're under. Okay? And so our modern world is highly stressful in a different way, right? A couple hundred years ago, it was a totally different kind of stress than it is today. Today it's like constantly on phones, constantly on the go, constantly being alert. There's no real downtime. There's no real relaxation. People are scrolling through their phone all the time. And that's why I simplified my life. I cut my cost of living way down, so I'm able to spend a lot more time outdoors. I do all my work out here on the patio, so I'm able to mitigate. But even that, when you're not doing low level activity, it affects your stress levels a lot. A lot of people that come to me, they're like, "Well, I'm not that stressed. I don't feel it." I'm like, my life isn't that stressful. And then we look at their vitals. We look at like their HRV. And HRV heart rate variability is a really interesting metric, because a lot of the people that'll come to me, and including myself, when I had colitis and when I had some other health challenges, my HRV was in the single digits, which basically means below 10. The higher your HRV, the more your body has the ability to adapt to stress, or the bigger your body's ability to actually recover from stress. So, and a nice stable HRV where it's not jumping up and down dramatically means your body's in a good place. It's pretty balanced. And obviously when you're training, you want to push it every once in a while, and you want to actually, drive down your HRV so you create an adaptive response. But a lot of the times people, when they come to me, they'll see their HRV is 5 or it's 3 or 10. And it's like, you say you're not under stress, but you really are. So your body's not in a good place. You don't have the capacity to handle a lot of stress. We've got to basically change some things in your lifestyle, maybe back your training off a little bit, get you outside walking a little bit more, get your circadian rhythm in order, get you getting some restorative time during the day. And that's where things like the Oura Ring come in really handy. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of it, but because most of the people that I work with are highly driven, they're not happy with the results that they're getting, and they have horrible self-awareness as far as like the actual status of like how much stress they're under. And most people today have a really hard time, and Joel Jameson talks about this all the time. They have a really hard time shutting it off and relaxing. And so teaching people how to shut it off is just as important as teaching people how to push. I would say in today's world, even more important. Because most people today just don't know how to shut it off and relax. I mean, it was built into our society not even 30 or 40 years ago, where you had downtime. You had people walked places, people sat and ate, they weren't in a hurry. There wasn't such a rush. Now it's just go all the time. So that's a big part of what I do, is getting people to become self-aware, getting them to get outside more, figuring out what the right amount of exercise is for them, and then figuring out what they want. Like, what is your actual goal? Is your goal to be a performance beast, or is your goal to like actually just look good and feel good? That's a totally different animal. That looks totally different. And most people confuse and intermingle the two. So, if you are a hard charger, I would recommend getting something like the Oura Ring, so you can actually have like data that isn't biased. A lot of times, people that I work with, they're like, "I don't feel stressed," and then we look at their data and it's like, "Oh yeah, you are." And then you can actually see how you're adapting to different things. So, and a lot of people get tripped up by it. They start, over analyzing things, but I just like to see their resting heart rate. I like to see HRV, and I like to see respiratory rate. And then we can actually see, like, I've had people that were really struggling for weeks and months and years and not seeing any progress. we would try, maybe change their diet or maybe get them going outside. And all of a sudden they would see 1 or 2 minutes more restorative time a day. And that would turn into 5 minutes and 6 minutes. When you have that measurement, people are like, oh, wow, I don't feel anything happening, but my indicators, my vitals are changing. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 weeks down the road, I start to feel a little better. My respiratory rate is going down by like half a breath every minute, or it's gone down a whole breath every minute, which over the course of a month is a lot. And they start feeling better. They start sleeping better. They can actually see it. A lot of times these interventions like getting outside or, dietary change or something like that, or adding more walking, you don't feel the benefits right away. But then if you start seeing it in your data and your physiology, then it makes things a little bit easier. So if a lot of this resonates with you, if you're a guy or a lady and you're really stuck and you're struggling and you're really overwhelmed, go ahead and send me a direct message. Or, if this is on YouTube, this is an Instagram Live, but if I share this on YouTube, go ahead and go to Vitality Brotherhood. At the top of the page is a recommended products page, or if you can go to Linktree on Instagram in my bio, or you can instant message me on Instagram if you want. If you need somebody to simplify things for you, if you're lost, if you're burned out, if you're broken, and you've been in a bad place for a long time, you need someone to help you guide you through the process of getting out of that. That's pretty much what I've done for like almost the last 30 years. So I'd love to help you with that. You can go to Vitality Brotherhood, click on recommended products. There's a book a call there, or you can, of course, DM me depending on what platform you're on, TikTok or YouTube, whatever it is. Or if you're on Instagram, you can definitely DM me. But I'd be happy to chat with you, and I'd love to help you get a good plan together, customized for you, and get you going in the right direction, build a foundation of health and resilience and you can push if you like, and then you can try, different things once you have that foundation down. So have yourself a great day. Make sure you take the time to get outside, and we'll see you again soon.